Hello students. So this is the third lesson in Civics. As you can see on the board, what is government? So before we begin with anything else, let us quickly discuss the meaning of this word government. You can take up an example and understand this better when you need discipline in your class and the teacher is unavailable. What you do? Simply, there is a monitor to take care of the discipline of the class. Or when you require some bigger decision making of your school, there is principal, headmaster, and the management of the school to take care of those bigger matters. In the similar way, when we live in a country and there is a large number of people, what we simply need is a group or a body or an institution that can take care of the management, the law and order, and maintenance of various things of the country as well as of those people who live in that country. This brings us the meaning of the word government. As you can see, the ruling body of a country is called its government. It takes up decisions related to various matters of the people of the country. Those matters could be financial matters, for example, settling up the prices of petrol or diesel, etc., deciding how will the vegetables be brought into use of various people, how will the people of the country receive jobs, how will the people of the country pay taxes, and there are numerous jobs which is to be handled by the government. Not only this, a government also takes care of law and order. It is very important when there are so many people living in one country, there has to be proper law and order, otherwise nothing will fall right in its place. So, a government also takes care of law and order in a country. Next, let us discuss the works of government in detail. So the meaning of government is clear from the works which it does. For example, the government decides where to build roads, schools, hospitals, parks, restrooms, other buildings, etc. It also controls the prices of commodities. Now here the word commodity means various things such as petrol, diesel, vegetables, food items, transportation, etc. It needs to control crime and maintain law and order in a country. It is very important by the government to take care of law and order of the country. It provides aid and relief. Now here aid means help. Relief during natural calamities like floods, earthquakes, droughts, landslides, etc. Like in these days also that we are facing the pandemic of COVID-19, our government is taking up various policies and plans to take care of those who are affected with this disease. It also controls the railways and the postal services of our country. Yes, it is very important for the country to have a good railway network as well as to have a good post office service. The government of a country controls and manages all this. It defends the national boundaries and maintains relations with other countries. Again, this last point can also be very well understood considering the Indo-China current situation. So, the government of our country is making all the efforts to defend the national boundary of India and to maintain good and peaceful relations with its neighboring countries. Now let us discuss the various organs or divisions of our government. So, organs of a government, there are three basic organs or branches of the government. And to name them, they are the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. Let us discuss them one by one. The legislature organ is that organ of a government which makes laws. There are the lower and upper houses of the parliament on national level, and we have the legislative assembly at the state level. You all must be knowing the parliament house, which is in the country capital, which is in New Delhi. So it is divided into two groups, the lower house and the upper house of the parliament, and the job of this parliament house is to make laws for the people of the country. The next organ of the government is the executive organ. The laws are made, but they will be of no use if they are not implemented, if they are not brought into use. So this brings us the next work of the government, that is implementation of law. So the executive organ of the government implements the laws, or it brings the laws into action which are made by the legislative. So the legislative organ of the government makes law, whereas the executive organ of the government implements those laws. And for this, we have certain ministers or leaders. The Prime Minister, along with the Council of Ministers, works at the national level. There are various chief ministers, including the Council of Ministers for Chief Minister also at the state level. Like Mr. Narendra Damodar Das Modi is the Prime Minister of our country, and the Chief Minister of our state, Uttar Pradesh, is Yogi Adityanath. It is the Council of Ministers or a group of ministers or a cabinet of ministers which helps the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister respectively to take care of the country and to take care of the respective states in implementing the laws which are made by the legislative organ. Now the laws are made. The laws were implemented also, but this is again possible that some of the people of the country will follow those laws while some may not follow those laws. For this, there is another organ of the government which is judiciary organ. The judiciary organ punishes those who violate or break the laws. It also looks into the consideration if a person is a suspect, whether he or she is the actual culprit or not. So the judiciary or the courts decide if the person who is accused as guilty is actually guilty or not. And for this, we have the Supreme Court at national level, which is again in the country capital, New Delhi. We have high courts at the state level. A high court is situated in the state capital, like Lucknow is the state capital of the state Uttar Pradesh. So we have a high court in Lucknow itself. And at the district level, we have the district courts. These courts work as various levels and they decide the punishment of those who do any wrong activity. So let us sum up the organs of the government. There are three organs of the government: the legislature organ which makes the law, the executive organ which implements those laws or brings those laws into action, and then there is judiciary which makes sure that those who do not follow the laws should be punished. So this is how we come to the end of this topic, the organs of government.